What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Fly Casual in the hot countdown to episode 200. We are at the doorstep at episode 199. Hey, we got news and we got toys tonight. Hey, we got Kathleen Kennedy news. Guess what? She ain't a short timer. And guess what? It's going to get hot like a Russian bot. What? Right here on Fly Casual.
Let's get ready to wrinkle!
I'd like to take a moment to apologize to everyone who follows on Facebook who happen to have their phone or device out, because it just so happens that we were serenading them with the absolute worst performances of all time.
Who wanted Herman's Hermits? What?
I was trying to find I was trying to lob a ball to Josh that I knew he could hit.
Well, who doesn't want Herman's Hermits?
No, that's true.
Come on.
That's true.
I really didn't
Brown, you've got a lovely daughter.
See, it's not cool for Mike because he actually is old, but for us,
for us, it's like ironic.
It's like a hip thing.
Yeah. It's like wearing these hats.
Exactly.
It's ironic.
He had that record.
Those are classic too, by the way.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You guys don't remember when that movie came out, do you? You were just strapping young.
Yeah,
lads,
we
right?
we weren't even collecting our pensions like you.
Our prefrontal cortexes weren't fully developed at that point.
Not at all.
Yeah, we were
now.
actually not allowed to rent cars at the time.
Yeah, true.
Unlike yourself, Mike.
Mike was online at the Social Security office.
That's right.
What are you boys?
We were yet to have discerning taste.
I would
It's
argue
funny because we still don't.
discerning taste.
I
Yes.
get it. Holy crap, you guys. It's episode 199.
Whoa.
How in the hell did that happen?
No one stopped us. They've tried. They've tried to
They
shut
have
us
tried.
down, right?
Yeah.
Either through A, just not listening, or B, actively trying to paint us politically and shut us down. I can tell you, I'll say it right here. There was an entire one person.
You forgot about the man.
An entire one person.
Man.
Oh, yeah, the man tried to shut us down.
Yeah,
You're right.
Don't forget the man.
Damn the man.
It's always the man.
There was an army of one that tried to shut this podcast down, but we persevered. I'm not yelling into my mic. I leaned back.
Good,
little.
thank you.
It's all right.
Yeah.
You did not clip.
Do it
Good
farther
job.
next
Ladies
time.
and gentlemen, we persevered and we are still here. And I apologize if your significant other forces you to listen to us in the car. This episode is devoted to you, the unwitting.
Sucker.
Welcome back to Fly Casual. I'm your host, Mr. Corey T. Wilson. Episode 199 is going to get a little weird. Because with me on my left, with a tripod made of several pairs of vice grips,
Yeah, it is.
one Mr. Garrick, not Jay Hardy.
Ooh.
I am in the hizzy, as the kids say.
Yeah.
In the hizzy.
In the hizzy. Those kids.
Live.
Faux
Yep.
Rizzy.
I came out of my basement
Yep.
into the sunlight.
He was down there and he's like, man,
And then
this
directly
basement.
into another basement.
He's like, this
Directly
basement
to
is
another
true.
basement.
That is straight up buns, yo.
The sun's
Yeah.
really hot. It's really bright and hot.
It's not that much
Hurts
cooler
my
in here.
skin.
Oh, man.
Mm.
Do you wear a hat with an umbrella on top?
I do.
Yeah.
Put lots of sunscreen on.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
But only on his nose.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Yep.
It's a big nose.
Yeah, you gotta
He's
rep
gotta-
that
he's gotta,
nose
you know,
screen.
Are you
Even
making,
out the
are
color
you making
scheme
fun of my
there.
hat from Pool Labor Day, you jerk?
Yes.
Yes.
What?
It was.
You know,
pretty
it's
ridiculous.
amazing we've waited this long, frankly.
Yeah.
It wasn't that so much, but the Hawaiian shirt and the vertical striped swim trunks.
I thought it brought it together with the camouflage boonie hat.
I really want this to happen now.
I wish
next
I was in
Pool
the
Labor.
it's gonna have
military.
to.
Yep. And of course, right next to Mr. Garrick Nache is Mr. Michael J. Hardy.
Yeah.
Arch.
My significant other.
Hi.
Well, they're finally together. We can
Wait.
finally make the announcement.
It's official.
We got divorced. Garrick and I got divorced.
And when nobody was looking.
Ironic we say that because
I get around.
Mike's going to be taking someone else's last name in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
That's right.
No.
Yeah.
I just haven't told her yet that.
Oh, no. Are you going to hyphenate?
Oh, no.
You're going to hyphenate?
Do it.
We'll
I
find
don't
out.
know.
Wait, what was your maiden name?
Ridley.
How many have you had?
He's taking a
Whoops.
Ridley last name.
Well,
Beat down.
dude, he's kind of like, he's kind of like, what's the commentator or the dude who used to do all the interviews on CNN? Come on, help me out.
Larry King.
Larry King. It's like Larry King. He's
Yeah.
had a lot of relationships, and he's going to be 85 in November.
Yep.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
couldn't remember his name, but I remember when his birthday is. I'm a sick individual.
And the suspenders.
yeah,
Don't
that's
forget the
weird.
And I always remember
And
the
13
suspenders.
wives.
Mhm. 13 wives.
Not all at once, maybe.
No.
Not all of them.
Maybe.
He's not from Utah.
Cannot confirm. Over there
Confirm or deny.
at Master Control, Mr. Stephen J. Howie. All right. Thanks.
Wow.
Howie, dynamite drop in. I'm sorry. We're supposed to give the play-by-play. Howie is smiling intently into his microphone for the listeners.
He was thinking of the fun times back when we were married for that week.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty distraught at the moment.
Fresh wounds, man.
It's
Fresh
gotta
wounds.
it's gotta be hard sitting next to
It
me.
literally happened 5 minutes
You
ago.
can't tame this pony. You can't tame me.
It's a wild stallion,
He
man.
steals my
Be excellent,
my Irish whiskey and then dumps me.
Wow.
Well,
Yep.
sometimes you
I just wanted half your Black Series figures.
you do it all for the whiskey.
Luckily, our prenup
Did it for the
excluded
Black
those.
Series
So
figures.
I should have read it.
However, you now can no longer open the door to your home because it is filled with the half of the pop vinyls.
Oh,
So,
Yeah.
worth
Hot
it.
damn.
Worth it.
now you didn't exclude yours.
so he also has half of yours,
Yeah.
but the good half.
No.
Wait a minute. I'm not sure if this is going to work if we got pop vinyls involved in this relationship.
Oh no! Anybody want to swoop in and pick up Garrick?
Oh, you didn't read the prenup.
Follow me on the math on this. Now Garrick owns half of a share,
Yeah.
which means that Mike now owns a quarter share.
Oh my God,
Mike, you own stock in Funko?
son of a bitch! Wait, is it making money? Well,
It's
I changed my mind.
like an infinite regress of Funko stock.
There you go. And rounding it out over here, we have turning the corner, I should say, on the table. We have returning Mr. Stephen Petrie.
I screwed up. I thought this was next week. I'm here a week early.
Oh no!
Wah, wah.
What's happened? Oh, you wanted to come for the big
He
episode?
wanted to come for the
celebration for the
bicentennial,
200,
so
but-
he comes here for the 199. That don't work.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
get out,
We'll
get
invite.
out.
We'll invite
Get the
drunk you
funk
back for
out.
the 200.
Yeah,
Oh,
dude.
good.
Yeah, drunk you.
He's fun.
Speaking of drunk,
That's
joining us once again is Mr. Josh from Kokomo.
Hello, world.
This is going to be fun.
There
Yeah,
it is.
it will be.
This will be fun.
It will be.
He's still sticking with that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, my fans,
Yeah.
they want me to say that every time.
All of
Yeah.
your fans.
Yeah.
But
And, and by his
the
fan, he
plural
means
the right,
when he listens to it later.
the right thing there. The plural is that.
There's a reason I don't get on Twitter is I
You-
would be swamped.
You didn't realize that Josh actually has multiple personality disorder, so he is his fans.
Oh, he's his own fan. I get
no,
it.
he's his own
Fans. He's got like 18 different personalities.
He's like James McAvoy.
So you guys,
Makes sense.
so
to
you
me
guys
now.
also make fun of mental disease on this podcast
Yeah.
too. Huh?
Can you
Yes.
find
Okay.
someone else to try to
I
shut us
see.
down?
blind, deaf mutes and
Yeah, no
the
one.
mentally
Frank,
diseased.
I've always said we are equal opportunity haters, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
You guys want to hear a joke?
What?
I can.
About
No,
a blind
I don't.
man?
No.
Shut up, Petrie.
Nope.
You know, the last time you were
No.
here, things went expectedly south.
They did.
They did.
Classic Petrie.
I did. So, which is funny because you're from the Great White North.
Yeah, Great White North.
Hey,
Woo.
you guys are
you don't
supposed to be
get to
nice
cheer.
up there, eh?
Represent. What?
No, you don't get to cheer.
We're celebrating Canadian Thanksgiving this week.
Yeah.
It is this week in terms.
Hey.
Yay, my Thanksgiving.
Yep, and we're going to celebrate it
Where-
in our own Nova Scotian way, right?
Yeah,
Yes, we are.
We
Yes.
eat. We eat.
What do we eat? What do we
We
eat?
eat turkey chick.
Durker chick. It's a Durker chick.
That's what Madden has,
Poutine.
right?
We eat
That
poutine.
no, that is actually the Inuit name for what we eat. That's
Yeah,
true.
yes, that's true. That's how Canadian I am.
We
First Nations, Corey.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the
That-
First
that's my
Nation.
Canadian
preferred-
those are two
Thanksgiving.
different things.
Yeah.
Ketchup potato chips. There we go. That's all you need.
Yeah, we
All
You know
dressed,
what? We go
baby.
hit the gas station right over here right now. All dressed chips
yeah.
and ketchup chips, actually.
Delicious.
That is
Nope,
the
not so
Canadian
And
Thanksgiving
mozzarella
spread.
chips.
It's,
Yeah. Oh, really?
Durka
Yes.
chick and
Durka
ketchup chips and poutine.
good. Yep,
little
poutine,
poutine.
like I said, poutine.
I haven't had poutine since about this time last year.
We're just going up for little potatoes and gravy.
Nailed it.
That was the best impression Mike's
You like
ever
that?
done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Yeah.
Take off, you knob.
I think I'm offended, but I'm not sure.
Hey, Nigel.
Okay, when Howie does voices, it's going to be a great night. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fly Casual, your apparently at some point Star Wars podcast, and it is time to get into some news.
Oh, yeah.
This is really going to be a great night.
It is really going to be.
Oh, boy.
Just
Here
keep
we
telling them
go.
that. They'll get it. They'll believe it.
Here we go. You guys ready?
I was born ready.
Yeah.
I came out ready and willing.
I don't think that's true.
I ran out and I jumped out and I just spread eagle, jazz hands in the air, and I said, let's do a podcast.
Something tells me that I'm in for something good.
Do some
Doctor
podcasting.
Slap me dumb.
Kathleen Kennedy in the news this week, boys.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
KK.
Yeah, remember KK? We was,
The lady what's in charge of the Lucasfilm.
that's right. And she will be for another 3 years. Kathleen Kennedy pens a 3-year
Whoa,
deal with
wait.
Lucasfilm
Only
and Disney.
3 years? Come on, guys.
Oh, they're firing her. That's firing. That's a firing. That's like kicking her right out the door. That's just saying, Kathleen Kennedy, we deem you unfit. You are not mouse material.
So there's a lot of celebrating, a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth, and
What?
everything in between.
Is
Yeah.
that really?
Yeah.
I would no. I would say there is a lot of celebrating, a lot of rejoicing, and there's a weeping and gnashing of teeth somewhere.
A singular.
There's some.
Oh no, there's people out there.
I know, of course there are. But at the same time, I could say something like, hey, everybody loves The Money
Raymond?
Pit, the greatest cinema event of all time. But there are some people who don't. They're just wrong. That's all. They're just wrong. You don't have to. We don't have to be fair and balanced, Mike. We don't even put that in our
What?
commercial taglines.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this is your Lightspeed fix. It's literally a drug innuendo.
Yeah.
We do not have to be credible.
Yeah.
Drugs.
So of course, like I said, a lot of people celebrating Kathleen Kennedy. This comes on the heels of her Oscar
Oscar announcement.
announcement that hasn't taken place yet. I
No,
guess.
the Oscars are at the opposite end of the year that we
Her
are. right now.
honorary
Gotcha.
Oscar.
Her honorary.
Yeah, the one that
Oscar.
only
It's coming up.
5 people have ever won in the history of
And
Earth.
you know what happened to Bill
And she's getting
Cosby's?
one.
You know what happened to Bill Cosby's honorary achievements?
No.
Is that not comparable?
Why is Bill Cosby?
Well, wait a
coming-
minute.
Did they vacate those?
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
no
Kathleen
longer.
Kennedy do something I didn't know
I don't
about.
get the connection.
He's no longer Dr. Cosby. I'm just saying.
They took his
They gave it to
doctor license
Kathleen
away?
Kennedy. It's Dr. Kennedy now.
No, they should have.
Is that
They should have. They should have. You're like, you know, Bill. I'm sorry, but no, now.
Yeah.
No, now. But now we're sitting on this thing. What are we going to do with it?
Yeah.
Here we got this honorary doctorate bouncing around.
Yeah.
People are tripping over it in the hallways.
That's the rule. I mean, when one falls, another must rise.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just otherwise it's
It's like
just
Highlander.
That's the reference.
They're
Thank
originally
you.
going to kill each other.
yeah, it's like ignoring your destiny. There's like this nagging thing in the back of everybody's mind all the time. Who's going to get the honorary doctorate?
There can
Okay,
be
so
only one.
If you all remember,
Dr.
several
Kathleen Kennedy
podcasts
confirmed.
ago that there was rumors going around that maybe Kathleen Kennedy was either going to step down or possibly be let go, that type of thing. I think on our side of things, we kind of took.
Let go. What's my severance? I mean,
yeah, the let go. I think was a stretch.
they walked her to her car.
I think I've kind of felt like the whole time if she was gonna. Well, they did make the announcement. When we heard it was either going to be September or it was going to be January. September being the fiscal year end for
So
Disney.
long story
So-
short, this rumor was because her contract was not yet renewed.
Right. Had
That's
not
what it sounds like.
Not yet been renewed, but I mean, with some of the controversy that came out with, Solo not doing as well at the box office and maybe some of the controversy surrounding Last Jedi, there was a lot of folks speculating that perhaps maybe that her time had come to an end. Obviously, that is not true.
No.
Haha.
They did not
I mean-
tell her, KK, thanks for all your work, but this isn't working out, so you can pick up your honorary doctorate and your Grammy at the door.
And your Grammy, that's right. Yep, sitting on a stack of little
She's
gramophones.
halfway to an EGOT.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I felt like if she was going to leave, it was going to be on her own terms. Like she had, I've
really
done, I've done
long
what
headache.
Yeah, right. Because things have not gone smoothly. I mean, let's be honest about it. We've talked about this. I mean, things have not gone smoothly there.
No. Wait. We've never talked about any type of disruption in the absolute elation of the Star Wars community. So your insinuations, I find accurate. Never mind. Everything what you said is accurate. That's true.
We're one big happy family, Mike.
Yeah, I didn't say we weren't.
Except for you.
What?
Yeah, Mike.
No, I'm just saying that not everything has been hunky-dory over there, so people speculating, and that ends up not being true. And I mean, I'm not surprised. Is anybody here surprised that she's...
No.
Nope. Again, there's no surprise to me that she wasn't let go. I don't think that was ever on the table.
Nope.
If she was going to leave, it would have been, I feel like, on her own terms. That she would have left because she'd done what she could with it.
But the image of it is hilarious to me. Like Kathleen Kennedy sitting in her cubicle at Disney.
Cubicle.
You're right.
The like security day guy walks up and says,
"Is it underneath Cinderella's castle?"
Miss Kennedy, can I have a word with you in the conference room, please?
Uh-oh.
No. At the same time, you guys
can you bring your things with you?
You guys cannot tell me that. Okay, just because she's renewed her contract, that doesn't mean that Disney hasn't sat down and had a come to Jesus meeting.
Oh no!
This is the thing. You want someone who is going to learn from mistakes,
right?
Admit them, and move on. Like
we've already seen some of that.
I mean, if you have like a CEO in place who just like sticks with their guns and says, "No, I made the right decision," and black and white, I'm the one who got it right.
Right.
Kick them out the door. But if you have an established leader who's proven that they can actually change and adapt, that's so much better than a fresh slate.
That's right.
Sure.
Yeah. Bob Iger he took all the blame himself, though. So
he did.
The Bobiger?
The Bobiger, yeah.
No, and I think that's probably justified. I mean, I would imagine that Disney out of the gates was like, okay, we got to crank these babies out because we got to make back this investment, blah, blah, blah. So I actually believe that there was pressure on Disney's side to crank this stuff out.
Yeah.
And obviously there's been some tough lessons learned. And, because I don't want to look at this because, again, there are apologists on one side that are just saying, see, there's nothing to see here. Everything's fine.
It's hard to tell how close. It's hard to tell how close Disney is to recouping their $4.9 billion or whatever. We can say that, okay, they spent so much money on these films and they made so much money back on them, but I don't think they've made as much back as they've expected to at this point. So obviously, they're from a business perspective alone, it's going to be sit down and go, okay, let's reassess and figure out a plan going forward because we're still in the red for our investment. Most likely.
Right. And I agree, but it's not just the financial investment. Obviously, again, the bumps in the road, man, the Josh Tranks and the Lord Millers and, and all those hiccups along the way too aren't fun. And, Solo being
a really good movie that no one saw, right?
That cost $300 million to make, which is more expensive than any other Star Wars movie to date.
Sure do.
I mean, obviously, so there are things that they obviously have sat down and talked about.
Indeed.
Maybe saying a come to Jesus moment is a little too harsh, but obviously, at least in my opinion, Disney and Luke and Kathleen Kennedy has sat down and said, okay, these are things that we've got to learn from, we've got to move forward from. Obviously they've come to terms, to that with each other, and they feel like, Kathleen Kennedy's the one to take them forward. So, let me ask you guys this though. Anything to the 3-year deal? I mean, it seems pretty. I mean, I don't know how. I don't know what a 3-year deal is in the pantheon of deals.
You also don't know who said 3 years. You don't know if it was Disney said 3 years or Kathleen said, I'm willing to commit to another 3 years.
We don't know that.
Nope.
I think there was probably like a negotiation process, and she said, I want 3 years. And they're like, okay, but we're moving your office window from like Pirates of the Caribbean to like Presidents of the United States ride.
I wanted to get closer to whatever the secret club at Disney is. I just forgot.
Club?
The one with suspenders, worked at CNN. You remember. Anyway.
So she got 3 years, but she has to stare.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this, because right now Disney's only committing to, through recent articles to Ep9 and whatever they're doing with the Game of Thrones guys, okay? So that technically, 2021 puts Kathleen Kennedy at maybe 2 movies.
Yeah.
Plus all the other stuff that they're going on. So,
and hopefully a lot more stable planning than what we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years.
True, but I don't know. Do you think that she continues after the 3 years, or do you think this is just kind of let me finish what we started and then bye?
I'm gonna let you finish.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, pass the buck. I mean, because I kind of feel
I
like
don't
3
see
years.
why not. Again, she's getting like a lifetime achievement Oscar, more or less.
Well,
her and her husband.
Besides that, I just feel like
But I'm
3
saying,
years.
like, with that body of work, why would you want to commit to more than that? Like, at some point, you're like, I've done enough.
Well, I know, and
I can now just do a ad hoc kind of thing.
Right. And I mean, just like all of us, she's not getting any younger either. So, I mean.
Hey. You
It
take
feels-
those words back. She's
I mean, to
immortal,
me-
like the head of Pete Rose.
Like a Highlander.
Wait,
To
that didn't
me,
work.
it feels like the
We
3
already
years
established
is
that she's
enough
a
time
Highlander.
for her to get Ep9 done and to get the Game of Thrones, movies off the ground, and to, in the meantime, find someone to hand the company off to.
Mike,
I mean, does that seem reasonable?
It does. Could I remind you, with your gesticulations on the table, that Garrick's tripod is made out of vice
Yeah, hey,
grips?
guys.
Okay.
Don't knock-
I'll be sure to knock it over.
Or do I need to get another foam pad so you can gesticulate onto it? That might help, actually.
Have you guys seen the new press on this Mandalorian thing, man?
What?
Have I ever, bro?
Oh,
Hello.
I can't wear pants anymore. can't fit them on.
I thought you meant because I can't stay clean.
Yeah, that too.
That
Also a
happens
thing.
later.
Yeah.
StarWars.com reporting this week, The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau's
Oh man, I
new
love
TV
Mandalorians.
project.
I love Mandalorians. You can make ratatouille. You can make julienne fries.
What?
If with a Mandalorian, you just put it on the counter
Slice
and
your
you just
thumb
like
off.
stick the potato on there and just.
So we've got our first
That's what we're
image
talking about, right?
from the new TV show, and it looks pretty badass.
Oh yeah, it does.
So
Hello.
I was not initially that excited about a show about
Until you saw this
Mandalorians.
picture, right?
Come
on now,
and
admit
I
it.
also know that Karen Travis is not being like brought on as the main consult, which is a travesty.
Wah, wah.
Even if she doesn't want to do it, they should have just shackled her and dragged her anyway because she's a treasure. So
She's a
I was
British
not.
treasure.
I'm not into the current mythos of Mandalorians as much as I used to be. The old mythos of Mandalorians, but yeah, this picture, the fact that it doesn't just look like another skinny English or Kiwi dude in a suit, it looks like this Mando looks like a big
Yeah.
ripped dude
Did
or a big
the
ripped somebody.
the description of the TV
Go ahead, man.
show. Let me
Read it.
read this. So this really got me excited. So it's called The Mandalorian, obviously. So after the stories of Jango and Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. We follow the travails of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic. ... 4 dots.
4 dots. Interesting.
Come on.
That's like an ellipse.
Come on.
That's an ellipsis.
And then he has to go be the Mandalore.
Dude, I'm saying
They're bringing the old legend
they're
stuff
they're
back.
literally doing what I've wanted done forever, which is going out past
Yeah.
all of the known politics and crap
Yeah.
and doing a non-Force centric story that's
There's nothing
its
about
own thing.
There's nothing about that description I did not like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everything about
I've
that.
been
is-
fooled
everything in it.
before.
I know. Yeah, you kind of. I mean, it's a cool picture. I mean, the picture.
He's like, and check it out. He's a gunfighter, not patient zero for a big cloning facility or something. That's more exciting. Like, oh, he's a gunfighter.
and his costume, holy sh-
Yeah.
Oh, that costume looks
Right.
So,
pretty
and this
cool.
comes out. This comes out next year. This is going to be
Yeah.
hitting the air. Well, hitting the Disney streaming service.
hitting the digiwaves.
Yeah, which some people I've
old
kind of
ones
been
and
I've been
zeros.
been kind of watching people's reaction to this on Facebook and Twitter, and a lot of people excited, but then there's other people. The only negative reaction I'm hearing to this is that I gotta get Disney streaming service. to
Okay,
watch
you know
this.
what? If CBS All Access can stay alive, no one's allowed to complain about Disney streaming service. As much as I hate having all these different services, you pick and choose, and there's no contracts. Then you can be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's kind of how
You
I'm
don't
feeling
have to
about it.
subscribe forever. How many people jump off HBO and back on every year? Or,
And again,
or
we're
in this
hearing-
case, every other year.
We're hearing that the price point on this is going to be under $10 and more likely $6-7
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
month.
it's worth
So
it.
that feels worth it to me.
You probably do that for
Do you
a
have,
season.
how much more of what you spend on basic cable goes to ESPN?
Hello.
Like half of it.
They
Yep.
might even give you a free month just to sign up.
There you go.
That's true.
And then
All right, so there's some additional information that we got from this on StarWars.com. So obviously, Jon Favreau's kind of heading the effort here.
Yeah,
he'll
he
be producing, and I believe he'll be directing some episodes. But we've also got an announcement of other directors.
What?
Some of these are kind of exciting.
Karen Travis.
Karen Travis will not be directing,
He's a writer, bro.
but you know who will?
She can write it.
Deborah Chow.
What?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
From Jessica Jones fame.
Ooh,
Hello.
I like that show a lot.
Rick Famuyiwa.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wait till he gets to the dude what directed Thor Ragnarok.
This is going to be great. Okay, everybody be quiet. Go ahead, read it.
Bryce Dallas Howard. Hello.
Wow, a robotic directorial debut. That's really
Yeah.
exciting.
Bring it.
Our first AI director. That's good.
The machines are
Do
rising.
you think,
right.
you think that was in Ron Howard's contract?
Hey, you know
I'll
who's
direct your movie, but
you know
my
who was in
daughter-
her cell phone, right? Ron Howard.
Yeah, well, here's the
Hello.
thing, though. She's actually had a lot of successful shorts that she's directed.
She was in an episode
Yeah.
of Black Mirror.
She's actually had a handful of shorts that have been pretty well acclaimed and received. So, being connected ain't bad, but she's not a total noob at it either. So,
She's a delight.
I that's the thing. I like her as a person. It's just in every movie, I'm just like, I don't see a person.
Right.
She's got good pedigree. I'm willing to. I'm willing to see what's going on.
There you go. Exactly. That's where I'm at.
Like a fine horse.
All right, here we go. You guys ready? Take a Waititi.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted.
All right.
That was so hot. Oh man.
He was ready on that button. All right.
Ready to make a
All
baby
right.
villager.
Fix
right
my
up in here.
mispronunciation.
I ain't trying that. Hell no.
It's
You
pronounced
pussy bitch.
Frank.
Oh, wow.
Aw, my
All right.
feelings.
So this person
Yes.
directed Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Yeah, it is.
Film, so
That's a real good movie.
And
Bring
right
it.
now, he's working on a movie about a young boy whose imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler. And it's during World War II, and his mother is part of the French resistance and is hiding a little girl up in their attic, and he falls for the little girl. But the problem is, his imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler.
So
I'm
it's in-
not kidding. This is actually what he's working on right now. That his next
Actually,
release.
All right.
Somebody let
Amanda?
that happen.
Then there's that.
Because he made Thor Ragnarok, Hollywood did what Hollywood does. They took the reins off and they said, "You did something good. Now do whatever you want."
Hey, sometimes that works out.
And
Yeah, why
that's the
not?
thing. I'm like, okay, this is a risk, but
Why
my
not?
fingers are crossed.
Oh, that's
I'm
not
rooting for him.
That's
I'm rooting
not
for him.
big budget, man. Let him do his little
No,
indie thing.
no, but still, you know it's going to be pushed like it is. Well, it depends on test audience.
I mean, yeah,
We'll
they
see.
did that.
We'll
They
see.
did that with Steve
with Steve,
Spielberg.
right?
Oh, little Stevie. Oh, little Stevie
Yeah,
Spielberg.
they did it with another kid I know named George.
George. Yeah.
And guess what? Quality went down when there was no one around to say no. It's kind of like all
Little
the
Kowskis.
It's kind of like all the people that like Harry Potter but don't follow J.K. Rowling on Twitter
Oh,
but
no.
see her retweets all the time.
Shouldn't do that.
It's kind of like, oh, J.K., you're not the same person you were, so stop.
Yeah.
You're different now. You've changed.
Yeah.
Leave the artwork where it is, or make new things.
Well,
Are you mad about Nagini? Is that what this is about?
I'm actually, to be honest with you, all the conversation about Nagini is like suddenly, oh, she's an Asian woman that was cursed. And Indonesia, it's an Indonesian name, and there's lots of other nationalities in Indonesia, so Korean's okay too. This is all J.K. Rowling. I'm not kidding. They're like, why'd you make her Korean? Blah, blah. She's like, there's Korean people in Indonesia. I'm so rich. I actually don't have a problem with that at all, but it has restarted the conversation about.
I know her dump. Yeah, right.
It's not like some of the stuff, most of the stuff that she kind of retcons in, I don't care, but at the same time, I see the same symptoms of George Lucas and the remasters, right? Of going,
I guess I don't
I can
care.
go back and improve upon the thing that I did because I'm somehow more
Whatever.
capable now.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but
like
you're
the special-
different now.
It's like special edition.
That-
Right.
Exactly,
I know.
special edition is what I
Right.
meant. You're different now than you were then.
Right.
You're a different artist messing with stuff that artist made.
I guess I don't care because I'm not as into. I like what's the new movie? The
Fantastic Beasts?
I like it. But
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not-
all right.
I'm not like
Yeah.
obsessed with it like I was the Harry
No,
Potter
I'm looking
series,
more
so.
forward to the second one than the first one, though. The first one was meh. The second one, I'm
I
like,
didn't
okay,
look
this
forward
looks
to,
all
but I
right.
liked the first movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't see it in
I'm looking
theaters,
forward
but-
to The Mandalorian.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too, actually.
Did you
I,
say-
I have some trepidation.
Did you say he was directing the first episode?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Did you tell us who's directing the first episode, Mike?
The Hat,
Who is it, Mike?
The Wolf.
David, the Wolf Hat.
How
the
did
Wolf
I
Hat.
forget? Dave Filoni, my man. Oh yeah.
He's actually in this first season, first 8 episodes. He's directing 2 episodes.
I'm-
Awesome.
You know what? And I'm super uber mega excited about that
Because what?
this is his live action debut,
Exactly.
right?
Yep.
So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do.
I'm going, please, because you know he's going to be there for you on the story beats and stuff like that. So please.
Well, in the history, I mean, that's why we love him with Clone Wars and Rebels, because he put those little nuggets in for the super uber nerds like us.
And the Mandalorian will now have a Force Wolf as a companion.
Sweet.
That's true.
Okay, do we talk about when
spectral wolf?
do we talk about when this is taking place in the timeline too?
Yes.
After the Empire.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it. You did mention it,
But it is shortly after the Empire. It's closer to the Empire than it is the Resistance,
which
right?
is great.
Yeah, it needs to be,
Perfect,
right? Because we need to fill in those gaps.
Yep.
So now filling in the gap on the other side, closer to the Resistance.
Well, one more
would be
thing. Wait, can
The Resistance.
one more thing about Mandalorian. I'm kind of upset they're wasting all those good directors not on movies.
Right?
That would have been cool.
Well, yeah.
You want to see the?
I want to see the Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, you're still avoiding his name.
Look, man,
You're letting
look.
Mike butcher it, and you're
If
still
they
saying
do now, if these guys make killer episodes, and
it's just Taika Waititi, isn't it?
Now, my trepidation
That
is
sounds
more,
right.
I've been fooled before because I was
Taika
really
Waititi.
psyched about Rebels because I thought it was just going to be about Rebels and no Jedi, no Force, just Rebel. There you go. Thank you.
Heyo.
It's been a while since
It
we
has
had that
been.
one,
It really has.
It's over.
But then that became the most Jedi-centric, Force-centric.
They specifically, in talking about the series, there are quotes where they're saying that they specifically want to tell stories apart from that.
Okay.
And people have even talked about how even Ezra developed all that, blah, blah, and that's specifically what we're looking to not do. There's not a lot out there, but there has been some
I hope
rhetoric
so.
around that.
I hope so. I don't hate
Solo
the Force
was-
and Jedi,
Solo
but
had no Jedi.
I don't either. I love it, but there's
Maul,
more.
I guess.
Star Wars is such a vast, expansive universe.
Star Wars without Han Solo was not Star Wars. The original trilogy without Han Solo, not the original trilogy.
Right.
Right. So when everything else centers so up in that stuff, it's like, well, yeah, but we need apart from that.
Yeah.
So
And I think I know you're going with the other thing with you're talking about Resistance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited because I
That
get.
is-
So closer to the Resistance side is. You want to talk about the Mandalorian?
I was just gonna say I get like a $25 a month allowance, and
Really?
it's enough
That
scratch.
he rents a
that
VCR with
I
it.
can with that kind of money.
VCR.
With that kind of money, I can blow like $6 or $7 on this and not even care if it's good or not because I'm still set with like
You're flush with Disney.
19, $18 or $19 for the month to spend on
Yes.
other things.
Or you can just pirate the episodes online. Anyway.
Dude.
What?
No.
Don't out those other people.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. What are
Those
you
other
talking
people
about?
who are not represented here
No.
in any fashion.
In any way.
Do not
Star
pay
Wars
attention.
Resistance in the news this week, boy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Read about
More
it.
information. Cinemablend reporting this week.
Cinnamon buns.
Cinnamon
Can't
buns.
go for a cinnamon blend.
They posted a little article this week talking about Star Wars Resistance and where it falls in the
Star Wars Resistance.
in the timeline.
Some stuff
Well,
happened.
I got to be honest.
There are
You guys,
two open cans of Red Bull
you know
in
what?
front of you.
I will let you guys talk about this. I am not excited about Star Wars Resistance.
I'm
just
not either because I have zero faith that it will not turn into Force pilots, Jedi pilots.
I know, and what actually they've said the same thing about Resistance. They're saying that they're specifically not wanting to go down the Force.
They will.
Then actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I was talking about the Resistance. I was talking about Resistance and not the Mandalorian. So that might be covered in Force people.
It can be both.
But
blah blah blah.
But that's right now. As of now, that is literally what they're trying to avoid.
Okay.
But
We'll see.
to kind of jump on to what Mike said, this is what
Let me-
excites me about Resistance.
Before we get into the discussion of it, let me read a little bit about the article and what it says.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Fair
Read
enough.
the whole
All right.
article. Okay.
All right, here we go.
In
From the
the
top. No, it says
In the beginning, George Lucas created the heavens and more heavens.
it says, I think we really wanted to have this show feel like it fit snugly into the timeline between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, having those events occur in The Force Awakens. We wanted to make sure that this felt canon to Star Wars in that having characters like Poe Dameron and Captain Phasma, who is announced to be in the show now, organically intertwined with our main characters. I think it just felt right that we wanted it to play up to what happens with Starkiller Base. So, I mean, that's kind of the setup here.
I think they said it's within a couple months.
Yes, it's very close to The Force Awakens.
Well, they're not
Very
planning
close.
very many seasons then.
Well, and see, this is where I'm a little confused because we know the war didn't break out until The Force Awakens, right? So, you know, we've learned in the Poe Dameron comics that the Resistance, that the
It was more like a
Resistance,
Cold War.
yes, it was a Cold War, and they were not engaging each other. I mean, we know this from the comics, so I'm not sure what they're going to do with this series. It sounds like it's a group of pilots, right? And they're going to go, I guess, go on missions.
Yeah,
It will be an entire season.
Well,
one of the seasons, probably 2 or 3, will be an entire season of Finn working sanitation.
I'd watch it. And C-3PO helps him.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my! Don't put that there.
But Phasma, big announcement that Phasma is going to play a role in this.
Yeah.
So
It's actually voiced by Gwendolyn Christie, I believe. So there you go.
yeah.
Breaking news.
But you know what? I mean, okay, that said, kind of going to reactions to this, though, but just other than the fact that it's going to be playing at 10 o'clock at night, I'm not super excited about this because everything I'm hearing, everybody keeps playing it down like it's a kid's show.
Every
probably
description
is.
talks about it's kid show.
It's
And I'm like,
kiddie.
why is it at 10 o'clock at night?
I'm so confused. I mean, the marketing on this is not great.
no.
It's confused. This is
Very confusing. What did
confusing
you
marketing.
just texted out something today to us, right? Some kind of book or something, a companion to this?
No, that's a different book altogether.
Is it? It has nothing to do with this?
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
a new book
All
that
right.
was announced called Alphabet Squadron. That's literally the name.
Oh,
Because
no.
they have a
I
wing,
thought that had
an X-wing,
Oh,
a U
no.
wing, a Y wing.
Okay.
Their squadron is actually called Alphabet Squadron.
That's
Yeah.
the name
The
of the book.
book is called.
Oh,
The book is
I
called
really-
Alphabet
I hope that's for like 8-year-olds.
I hope they shorten it to Alpha Squadron
No.
or
There's
something.
There's a
No.
Gamorrean with a cybernetic implant, an angry Ewok.
Implants.
A hut.
No,
The hut's flying an
Nice.
A-wing
I
for
see.
some reason. He just shoves himself in there.
There you go.
Okay, but are you guys getting
every
this?
time he gets in, he has to do that little cartoon thing where he wiggles
Yeah.
himself in.
The
trying to
tail's
squeeze his
always
belly
hanging
in.
out,
Yeah.
flapping.
It's like he has to wear a flight girdle.
No, he's actually
And then-
Gracchus the Hutt. He just turned his robot legs into an A-wing.
There you go.
Then he says,
Nice.
"Oh heavens, get
Nice.
it in there! Gave me the vapors."
You know what? That's why they should bring back the shell huts. He can just plug himself into one of those old Jedi Starfighter rings and,
Oh, yeah.
and just fly around exposed to vacuum.
Here I go.
See, there's a difference between a character that we already like and has had good story development and then learning more about them. Whereas right now, whenever we hear like, oh, Captain Phasma's going to be in there, we're like, well, hopefully it makes us like her a little bit better. But
They got to do something with that character because the movies didn't do
so,
nothing
So
with
if
her.
they do that, that's all
killed
great
her.
and good.
They had a book.
Twice.
But it's still not enough to make me excited about it. It's like, okay, well, I'll check it out and see if they make her a little bit cooler. You know?
Really? So you're looking forward to? I mean, is
No, like I'm literally
He's
saying,
saying that
I'm
like
not,
you would only be
there's
going
not
to
excitement.
it to get more. You're going to it to find the excitement, not
Gotcha.
because you have the excitement. And yeah, I'm kind of the same way. There's other than the cast.
Cass is amazing.
The cast, it makes me
They
excited.
I did Elijah Wood this week. They just announced.
yeah,
right?
that's right.
Yeah, he's going to play like a little naughty boy or something like that. But I
A hobbit, you?
an evil hobbit,
Ooh, evil hobbits.
yeah, an evil hobbit named Finkelberry Huck.
I like it.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
So other than the cast, I'm not excited. The cast and the ships. I'm not excited about anything else. The animation,
I'm not excited about anything.
the story, the characters that they're describing. Like, we're going to bring in all your favorites, like Poe Dameron and Phasma. I'm like, I really did want to like them.
And Princess Leia.
I do like
Princess
Poe.
Leia. I'm still open to liking Poe. I still don't feel like I've been.
Yeah, they
given
haven't
a
ruined Poe.
No, Poe's not ruined at all. But I
Poe's
still.
just not. They've not done anything with.
Yeah, they got
the
close
comic,
to
I
ruining him
guess.
by making him an ignorant butthead in Force, or in
Oh, he grew as a
Last
person. Move
Jedi.
on.
He grew.
He grew as a person.
So much character
He
development
was like,
in
I'm
that couple days.
so sorry for making the wrong. I'm so sorry.
It is that
Sorry.
weekend.
So
Sorry.
Happy Canadian
You don't
Thanksgiving.
get to use that word.
I can't.
That's
Yeah,
our word.
That's our word. Yeah.
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 Hey.
Wow, you're
Hey.
gonna get tweets about that one. Anyway,
A.
They've fooled us before both ways. So.
Yeah.
So next topic.
Oh, wow. All right.
Keeping it on track.
We are
with the
hard,
done with resistance.
That's when Master Control says the host is not hosting. And he's right.
Did you guys hear about this? Did you guys hear about this attack this week by the Russians? The Russians attacked.
I did.
Boy.
on Starkiller Base.
I did. And Patrick
Russian-
Swayze took his brother and all his friends up into the mountains.
Rural Michigan.
They're like, there's Russians with Nicaraguans everywhere.
I
thought it was Chinese.
That was the North Koreans.
No.
That's North
the
Koreans was a
reboot, man.
remake.
That's a
That-
reboot.
Reboot, really? Does it qualify for a reboot?
I
didn't
don't know what they call these movies.
Didn't
was
that
a
have
remake.
Thor in it?
It was
That
a
had
remake.
Thor
It
in
did
it,
have Thor in it.
And
In the
then-
Patrick Swayze.
And he was
role.
in Thor Ragnarok,
He
should
was.
It was
He
directed
should have
by
just
that
said
director
flame
guy.
on and wasted them all.
who was also directing Mandalore. Brought it back.
Oh wait, that wasn't Thor.
Ha!
So Star
Hey,
Wars
but
was
you're-
attacked
but
by
you're the one
Russian
that took
bots this week, guys.
Yep, Star Wars was attacked by Vladimir Putin.
Officially attacked. Vladimir Putin.
You heard it here now, folks. The
Putin.
Last Jedi, the script was actually written by Russians. And it was snuck into
Ryan Johnson is a bot?
Yeah, no, Ryan Johnson's a Russian puppet. You've heard it here first.
Oh,
I don't think that's what they
I'm
meant.
surprised.
It's not.
No.
My reading
surprised.
comprehension is iffy at best, Mike.
I think they were suggesting that perhaps all the hatred that is propagating on the internet
Oh yeah.
about The Last Jedi, that's all fake.
Oh, yes.
No, but
Not
everybody,
all of it.
dude, everybody loves The Last Jedi. Are you kidding me? It is a national treasure.
Is that what you took out of this?
That's what I took out of it.
What I took out of it is the same thing that we took from the last study that was released a couple weeks ago. Ironically, while this person was still in peer review for this new study that you're referring to. I don't know why that's ironic, but it just happens to be. But either way,
Don't you think?
where that one came out and said,
Morissette.
guess what? There's just not that many people hating, which we have believed to be true.
Canadian.
Yeah.
And as people who in
Wait,
general
wait,
aren't big
wait.
fans of the film, we don't believe that there's that many people actually hating and being as awful as everyone
Would you
says.
say it's like rain on your wedding
Well,
day?
yeah, no. If you're suggesting people going out and attacking and all that stuff,
right.
yes.
And this one was this study to me was coming from the same point of view. It's like, but they were looking at, instead of tweets with, I don't know, people like us,
yeah.
like the last one.
Yeah.
This was all with people talking to Ryan Johnson,
Yeah,
tweeting
like
at
a
Ryan
free
Johnson.
ride when you've already paid.
Or a black fly. In your
So
Chardonnay.
in that
Which
case,
again seems flawed to me because not every discussion
I'm
about
not
the
going
Last
to acknowledge
Jedi,
you guys until you start cracking your voice like she does. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm saying which is flawed too because not every person that had a discussion about the Last Jedi included Ryan Johnson.
No, I know.
Dang.
It's still such a, it seems like such an arbitrary way to capture in the world of tweeting where everything is so rando, the way that people interconnect.
I just find it
But
odd.
either way, the findings were that, hey, guess what? The negative tweeting isn't remotely as much as the positive tweeting. I think everyone here knew that. Regardless of public opinion of the movie, I think we all knew that there was way more people being positive than negative, right? In general, just in their communication methods. Okay, regardless of how they
to
felt about the
Ryan
film.
Johnson specifically.
To Ryan Johnson, which, by the way, Twitter is where you get the positive feedback loop, to borrow an IDW term, where the people who follow you are typically more often than people who like you.
Yes.
So you're always going to get much more of a positive
Yes.
response,
Hello.
and that'll drown out the negative. So the worst thing you can do as someone of import is to start attacking the negative, which also pulls your army of positivity into attacking the negative as well.
It's an echo chamber effect.
It is. It's
would
very,
you say
very
it's
dangerous
like
behavior.
Winning the lottery and then dying the next day.
So what it comes down
Is
to
it like that?
in this study,
Like that?
what it came down to is
Well,
that
who
he's
would've
saying
thought?
that there's
Who
not
would've
as
thought?
much of the
It
negative.
figures.
And here's the surprising thing, maybe to some, is that about half of that flamey negative stuff seems to be coming from like Russian trolling sources.
And now-
Which
now-
just it proves how smart the Russians are.
Yeah, man.
but even then,
if we establish them as
if
basement
you read it,
dwellers.
it's just speculating that
I wish I
that's
could do a
what it
Russian
is.
accent.
Yeah.
It's not actually attributing it
It
to
is.
the
It's
Russians.
using get the
It's
phone
saying
number.
that these are bots similar to what
Settle down, Mike.
Russia has been
It's true. It's just
accused of doing.
It's
to the United States
it's
through its
anecdotal
election.
comparisons, but it's saying that it appears that it's the same type of things, that the patterns of behavior that have been seen from like the Russian, but also, but the big thing is they're bots like half of it is coming from like bots and Smurf. Not Smurf.
The big thing is the big thing is that this is ridiculous to even talk about.
You're ridiculous.
Why are we
Why
talking about
it?
Well,
because it was
That's
ironic.
Yes.
no.
It's kind of like meeting the man of your dreams and then meeting his beautiful
think
wife.
It was newsworthy. That's why we're talking about it. But
Right.
I think that doesn't mean that I can't think it's ridiculous that it's even a news article.
I think it's great because the people out there that think that they have to be an army of against hatred might have an opportunity to sit down and go, "Hey, wait, maybe I'm the asshole."
Do you think that's actually going to happen, Corey?
No,
See, I just
but I
think,
have got to keep on to hope.
So are we waiting for an apology?
Rebellions are won on hope.
Are we waiting for an apology from
Built.
Brian Johnson for lashing out at man babies that were non-existent?
No, but it makes it that much easier for me to imagine what Ryan Johnson. Of course, and he saw it. He goes, I'm really liking. I've read the first line of this, and I really like what the first line said. Blah blah blah. I'm like, shut up.
Look,
Either come to Jesus and say, you know what? I got way too excited about something. I was being puppeted, and I should feel silly for that.
I
That's
just
what
feel
want.
like over the last month or so that there has been this attempt overall to just scrub everything clean. Oh, Kathleen Kennedy kept her job. See, there was nothing. There's no problems. Nothing to see here.
Mike, no.
Sorry, yes.
Because before this started happening, we were sitting there going that, you know what? The true fans of Star Wars, whether or not they like Ryan Johnson and his work or not, the true fans of Star Wars want to still be a united group of true fans, regardless of their difference of opinions.
That's absolutely
And
true.
I feel like some of these studies were done with the intent to point out, and I don't know this. This is just me one. It feels like they started with the intent to hypothesize how much hatred there actually is, and it seems like in both cases they're going, it's not that much. And so for me, it's not saying it's not that much. See, people like it because who does that serve?
I see that.
Who does
I
that
see it
help?
completely different. I see it.
I see it as them
as
going,
an attempt to scrub. I'm just saying. This is my perspective.
I know,
man.
I'm saying that your opinion
I
sucks.
understand what you're saying, but it feels like to me that it's just scrub clean. There's nothing
Your
to see
opinion's
here.
bad
Move
and you
along.
should feel bad.
Yeah.
see, I'm just
Nailed it.
fascinated.
No, his opinion's bad and he should feel good. That's the point I make.
I just find it fascinating. I'm not even approaching it from the same perspective as you guys
I don't
are.
even-
Well, now you're wrong.
I just feel like, okay, we've established or people believe that Russia is trying to use social media to sow division. How fascinating that they would use this like little
Last Jedi. I know.
geek
Allegedly.
nerdy thing to try and divide people. And yet at the same time, you end up having people saying, oh, the basement dwellers and this and that, and how effective it was in some ways at trying to develop a target group and ostracize them and stuff like that.
I'm not denying
I
that
find
they're-
it fascinating.
I do too, because it falls into this larger narrative that there are groups who are just trying to sow discord. And that's to me, if I came away from everything going on Twitter and in the nature, for the context of this podcast, in Star Wars fandom over the last 6 months, it would be calm yourself down.
Yeah, I know.
It's not as crazy as you're letting yourself be led to believe.
Yeah, everybody needs to put one hand in their pocket,
And another one.
and
Where'd
the
you
other
put
one, it needs to be given a peace sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the finger. One of the two.
No, I mean that I don't use the
The bird.
Twitters much, but I've been on enough to know there are people out there that they can tweet. Is that right? Yeah. Anything, any old thing that pops into their head.
There are some people that can do that.
And you can respond to that tweet, and no matter what you say, even if you're agreeing with them, they will lash out at you.
No, that's true. It sounds like it sounds like you're saying something like a duh thing, but it is so true. Like there have been people that I've responded very directly agreeing, and then they correct me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just agreed with what you just said, I think. But you're really lashing out. And it's because text comes out way more passionate and inflated than it does in real life.
Right.
That's why you shouldn't have super serious life-affecting discussions over text usually. You should probably do that face-to-face. I'm just saying.
Depends on the party.
Twitter is even worse than texting in terms of capturing context.
No, I agree.
So we should boycott Twitter.
No, because
Yeah.
it's our main avenue to corresponding with
Doesn't have to
listeners.
be. It's becoming an old person's game.
Delete your
That's
account.
right in our wheelhouse, bro.
we should move to Facebook.
At least Mike's.
Oh.
Right. Seriously,
Look,
Mike's over there drinking his
we should
shirt, taking his
Snapchat.
calcium tablets.
He's got a nice sweater on, though.
I do.
We should do all of our correspondence through something other than.
I'd like
That.
to point out that Howie's Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace Taco Bell hat is being worn sideways on top of his headphones.
That is fantastic.
And
Yeah.
I
Pretty
want
sweet
Mike
looking.
to snap a picture and throw that on the
All
tweeters.
right, yeah.
That's
Wow.
what I'm really looking for.
He'll be wrong.
Is that it for news?
I'm sure I'll be wrong.
Is that it for news?
Please,
Is that everything
God,
on the
let it
news
be the
docket?
end.
Oh, dear God.
Are you done?
No,
dude?
I'm ready to keep talking about this shit.
Sweet justice.
I think we hit our quota.
Somebody take his old granddad away. That's a liquor.
Oh.
That's a,
You need to pop another can of Red Bull
Happy
and
O'Daniel or whatever.
something like that.
drop some
Old-fashioned?
more Jaeger.
Look, in closing,
Oh my God.
I just want to say,
Now,
That you are on Twitter way too much.
in
no,
conclusion,
I'm really not. I just want to
Webster's-
say it's okay if you like the movie. It's okay if you don't like the movie. It's okay to discuss it. But all this crap on the fringes is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So in
Webster's
that,
dictionary defines. Never mind.
That's,
Doing the
but you
conclusion.
can't voice that way, Mike. Because then
yeah, I know you have to be an extreme. I know.
No,
I get it.
when you say that and you say you can like it, you can not like it. You're belittling the people on the outward edges of either.
I am.
Oh yes,
By taking a stance on anything, you are forcing someone else to their knees.
yes. And
You
that
are
is
part
horrible,
of
so.
you are part of the patriarchy.
All right,
Taika
stop.
Waititi.
Porkins by the week.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, that means time for the Porkins bite of the week.
I've never looked forward to a Porkins
Again?
again.
Oh, man.
I don't know if y'all know this, but there's been some debate over which song from the end of Return of the Jedi is superior.
There's no debate.
Is there?
Yeah, none. No
Nope.
debate.
Well,
debate
it
at
would
all.
appear that debate has come to a close.
That's
Right,
right.
it
The
has.
new version.
Yep. High five, Mike.
Yep.
Funny you should say that. Allow me to drop some knowledge on your behind. The original song at the end of Return of the Jedi, and
that-
also
That goofy Ewok.
the
thing, I know.
original song from Jabba's Palace,
Yeah.
were written by not John Williams, mind you,
Well, then they suck.
but John Williams' son, who happens to be named Joseph Williams, who also happens to be the lead singer for Toto,
What's Toto?
and wrote the song Africa, the greatest musical event of all time.
Oh, knowledge bomb. No.
Are we,
You have been defeated, good sir.
are you sure he didn't write the new version?
You have been defeated. Anything you do now is a straw at which you
Wait,
grasp.
did-
Son of a bitch.
Did John Williams write the new updated version?
How on earth could you have been that wrong? Because first off, you guys were wrong. But
No,
like
we're
now,
not wrong.
but now it's like you're so undebatably, inarguably wrong. It has
No,
to
man.
hurt.
No.
I didn't even
Wrong.
like that song that
The
much.
dude what wrote Africa happens to be and lead singing happens to be
Hey,
John Williams' son.
I'm happy to give him the Jabba song. I'm happy to give him that one.
Yeah, that was
I
pretty
see how it is. So you can be selective about it.
Africa
I am.
has like 12 words in it total. That does it. It's not a genius to write that song.
Yeah, well,
Get out.
You obviously haven't listened to Africa.
It's got melody up the woo-ha, but
It just repeats.
It's
over
got
and
great
over.
lyrics like over the
Oh, you mean it has a you mean it has a chorus? So yeah, it repeats the chorus like every song.
Yeah,
That's called a
That's-
refrain
that's a song.
or something.
You
It's
don't
fun.
know.
I don't
It's
know.
fun
No, I have
because
no clue.
Son of a
on the
bitch.
see exactly.
do you need this to do your segment there? buddy?
No, I got it.
You
It's
got
on
it?
my
You
phone,
good?
baby.
You good?
All right, we're all fired
Phone in
up
it.
for the toy report.
Yeah.
We got to do that too.
Shut up.
Talk about controversy. Here it comes.
Here it comes. You guys thought that last segment we were all fired up. Just wait till I drop this knowledge bomb on you.
You better, because it ain't gonna be
So,
able to
like-
reverse that last
Like
one.
Darth Maul crawling his way out of the pit
What?
after being cut in half
What?
and regaining some robot legs.
Crawling his way out of the pit,
And
like
then
up and
becoming
out.
a crime lord,
I
apparently.
think Mike and Garrick need to put the rally hats on.
And then and then getting cut in half again, and then dying, but then he didn't come back. But before he does that, he came back just like Toys R
What
Us. It's not dead.
Son of a biscuit.
Dead. It's coming back, baby.
Son of a nutcracker.
Yeah, just when we
Son of a
thought
motherless goat.
all hope was lost, Toys R Us is coming back.
All right.
The leading controlling lenders decided to pull out of the bankruptcy auction and decided to rebrand the toy store.
They just yelled, "Psych!"
Toys are
Son of
you.
a biscuit. They're back.
It's the most brilliant marketing scheme of all time.
Oh my gosh.
You know, they're like, oh, you do your going out of business sales, but then you don't really go out of business.
You're
Well,
still
we're
there.
actually going to go out of business.
They're like, oh,
We're
look,
going to
we
sell everything.
Oh, look, we've liquidated all our assets and paid off so many debts.
Hey, guys.
Looks like we can start anew.
we're
Oh,
back,
look.
baby.
We're at
The great-
15% off now.
We're at normal price.
They're almost down to Amazon prices. Now's the time to buy.
So I guess apparently, according to some articles, they have $5 billion of long-term debt that they're apparently going to restructure.
Holy cow.
And I guess in doing that, they're going to find some financial flexibility to invest in the business and improve.
Thank you, capitalism.
And this is what I'm.
They still got some wheels to sell off.
Yeah, this is what I'm excited about. So they're going to improve the customer experience in the physical stores and online. Yeah,
Did they say how they're going to
Improve the customer says, well, I can tell you how right now. Ready?
they're gonna slap a new.
They're
coat of
going to,
paint.
ready? This is how they improve the customer experience
New
in the
carts.
store. Clean it
Yeah, that's,
so that it doesn't smell like old child floor pee.
That's
Either,
it.
either that or just lower the lighting.
Yeah, well, no, they already tried that. Because if you went into one recently, you would see that the lights were so yellow from all the dead insects that had gathered and hardened inside their shells.
They couldn't afford to replace the lights. Either.
Yeah. And let's say maybe floor tiles that aren't like surplus from the 1960s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I mention the urine smell?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I
A
mentioned
couple
the urine
times.
They
smell.
literally pee under the shelves at night.
I think the urine smell actually gets most of the way for
Yeah,
me.
it does.
Also have basically an MSRP that is the same as everybody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
That might help.
Yeah. So
I get it when
Maybe.
Kroger marks up toys $2. They're a freaking grocery
Right.
store.
Yeah.
But you're a big
$2.
box toy retailer.
Right.
You shouldn't be getting beat by big box non-toy specific stores.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Now,
Right?
flagship store grand reopening.
Yeah.
There's going to be a missed opportunity if they do not hire Rick Moranis and put him in the Darth helmet outfit and just stand out front and go, "Fooled you."
Evil always win because good is dumb. Yeah, I'm sure I got that line perfectly.
Yes.
Probably
Didn't
not.
butcher that at all.
Twitter will tell you why you're wrong.
Well, Toys, you'll be
what's-
happy to know Toys R Us is still open in my home country of Canada. So I guess
Well,
true.
you know, the interesting thing
But
is
Canadian Toys R Us is just a bunch of Lincoln Logs and like empty
what the
maple
hell?
syrup bottles.
Walmart.
Very low
okay.
tech.
I'm gonna
Walmart.
I'm gonna
Okay,
let that
hold
slide.
on. Let me say what I'm going to say before you go crazy.
Stop trolling me.
Walmart has just announced
Uh-oh.
a multi-million-dollar investment in collectibles.
Wow. So they're going to open up another quarter of an aisle to go with the half an aisle that they give it so far.
The half aisle that's half filled.
Or
Yeah.
or
Right.
multi-billion-dollar. I don't remember. It's a lot of money.
I'm going to tell
I'm
you
excited.
what, Walmart being the largest toy or the largest seller of toys in the U.S. or whatever, I don't ever go there for toys because it is always the most disappointing.
Well, I
Toy
think that's
section.
going to change.
Yes.
Really? Because it's pathetic lately.
They're going to jump into the market of toys, baby.
For the first time.
So this void of Toys R Us has opened up the doors for GameStop, which has seen record sales
What the
in
hell?
collectibles,
That can't be.
and
they don't just sell games,
Walmart
Mike.
now. So this is going to be an interesting competition.
they sell
Yeah.
games?
They sell collectibles
They
at
don't.
$3 more.
Sure, they sell games if you want to pay like twice as much for them.
Jeez.
Hey, right now I can go out and get a used Nintendo Switch
for $20 cheaper than a new Nintendo Switch. That is an actual fact.
That is cheap.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to Toys R Us.
Yeah.
I missed it. It's been a hole in my heart that can now be filled.
So they're going to rebrand it. They're going to call it like Toys for Some. I mean,
Toys for you.
You know what? I just feel like they're trying to put a positive spin on this.
Stop it, Mike.
maybe
Toys.
Mike, let me tell you why you're wrong.
You get a toy, and you get a toy.
maybe they'll flip that R the right freaking way. 'cause come on.
What the hell?
Come on.
There's
It's
Mike
backwards.
out on the front porch. Hey, what's
A-R-E.
with Toys R Us? And Mike's on
Where's
the
the
front porch
spell
yelling,
check?
"Goddamn Russians!"
They're going to spell O-U-R.
Yeah, spell it out.
maybe not devote a quarter of the floor space to baby stuff when Babies R Us is across the parking
They're not bringing
Yellow?
Babies R Us back.
Nope.
Well, that would make sense too. One or the other. You can't have it both
That's
ways.
why they had all the debt. Just saying.
That's why it was there.
Because
Yeah, the same crib, 200 yards apart.
A lot of debt comes
Bargain
from
babies.
Babies
Damn.
always cause debt. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Debt babies.
Yeah, hello.
Freaking debt babies.
You have a
Anyway,
baby? I have
This
a baby.
podcast is
Moving
like debt
on.
babies.
so we have New
It
York
won't
Comic.
die.
We got New York Comic Con going on
Yeah, we do.
this
Is it?
week while we record.
Son of a
right.
bitch.
NYCC.
lots of new
2018.
Funkos.
We got first up, we got a lot of new images from the Hasbro panel. They're coming out with a lot of cool new stuff. So in the vintage collection, let's start there. They've announced a Yak Face.
Nice.
What? Yeah, but they actually use his name, which I can't pronounce.
Are these 3 3/4 or
These are
6
3
inch?
3/4
Make Mike
inch.
pronounce it.
Yeah, what's his name, Mike? What's Yak Face's real name? I don't think that's Yak.
Mike is leaning forward and squinting at his computer because he doesn't have its trifocus.
I don't have my
You wouldn't be able to pronounce it.
I can't.
His name is
pronounce it.
Frank.
His name is Yak Face.
Yeah,
there we
Yak
go.
Face. Yeah, there you go. And then they got a Scarif Trooper here,
they do.
Stormtrooper, and they
Nice.
got a little Klaatu, the skiff guard from Jabba's sail barge.
Yeah, they
And-
do. Damn.
They got Bosch Leia.
Are those called Klaatu and not Klaatuinians anymore? Didn't they used to be called Klaatuinians?
No, they're Nikto.
Oh, Klaatu is the Nikto.
Yeah, because they have Klaatu, Barada, and Nikto.
That is
right,
like a
right,
callback
right.
to,
Thank you,
the
thank you.
That is a
Daenerys
nice
stuff.
looking Gamorrean
Yeah,
for that
so
size.
they- yeah.
Boy, I sure wish this site would load for me,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, Gamorrean's good. I like his fur diaper.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah. So those are cool. I like the layer.
Are these 6 inches?
Yeah. Next up, we got 6-inch.
Easy.
So we got 2 exclusive announcements that came out here from Hasbro. So the 6-inch series is going to feature now a General Grievous.
Yeah, they are.
Eh,
Aw.
he's going to cost a little bit more though.
Son of
You're going to be paying
bitch.
like $10 more for that guy.
Damn it! I hope nobody buys him so he goes at $10.
Yeah, he's pretty cool though. He comes with like 4 lightsabers, a cloth cape, and parts. For
Damn,
him.
I gotta buy a couple of those.
I love
'cause I'm
parts.
pulling him out.
Yeah, lots of parts. And he comes on like a black stand that kind of like elevates him when he stands up to make him taller. So that's kind of
Nice.
cool. And then the second one they announced is a Walgreens exclusive. It is General Obi-Wan Kenobi in Clone Trooper armor.
Son of a bitch.
Oh my god!
I might have to pick that one up.
Look at that face, dude. The face, the sculpt on this is amazing.
Wow, that is
It
nice.
just looks like Ewan McGregor as just looks like him right there. There he is.
So this isn't a movie. I mean, this would be from the. Actually, this would be from the.
The Tartakovsky.
The
Clone Wars.
Tartakovsky,
Yeah,
right? Because I don't even
so.
think he dressed like this in Clone Wars.
He never
did he?
wore the full armor, as far as I can remember.
Oh, that is awesome.
But again, I don't remember all the episodes. But I think it's from the Tartakovsky. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's one of the coolest figures I've seen in a while.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I haven't been buying the 6-inch figures lately. I'm lying when I say that, but I'm buying this one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You said that up before we recorded too. You lying then?
Aw.
He lies all the time. He's
Remember, I said
addict.
I said I'm not buying them, but then I bought the Imperial Guard 4-pack.
Yeah.
That's true. You did
don't
follow
pay
it up
attention
with
to what Mike says. You're not
When
putting
he
it
said he
together.
doesn't buy them anymore, I tuned him out.
I'm not buying them, but I'm buying the big ones that are more expensive.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That checks out.
It does.
Yeah. And then they announced a whole slew of Star Wars Resistance 3 3/4 inch figures from the new Star Wars Resistance cartoon show
Figures are
on
right.
the television. So Right now, I have no idea.
Ooh, it's gold Phasma.
Yeah, gold
Ooh.
Phasma. So
I
they
don't know
have
who this Red Trooper pilot thing is.
Red Trooper pilot guy.
Yeah, Red Trooper pilot looking thing.
Is that Major? No, that's not him. That's
Oh, he's cool looking.
I don't know. But Commander Pyre is the
he's cool.
gold
I hope,
First Order
I hope the
Trooper.
cartoon's cool and I'm wrong.
Well, these look pretty cool. They look like the cartoons.
That is an astromech with a helmet on.
Yes.
It looks like you can see his
Alrighty
rib
then.
cage.
Hey, dude, he's only partially built. Do you have any idea how expensive a real astromech is? You cobble them together from parts. That's a real thing, but you got to protect that thing's nugget.
All right.
Yeah, you do.
I'm trusting you on that one.
But can we draw some attention to Gold Phasma or whatever is going on here?
That is not Phasma.
Nope.
It's a
Gold
different
Trooper.
character.
Commander Pyre. That's
Commander. I hear he's part of the brass.
Hey-o.
You get it?
So
I
apparently,
get it.
Phasma and this guy want to stand out in battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
Say, come and get me.
awesome they are.
Shoot the glare.
You know, Phasma's armor was made out of the destroyed remains of the Emperor's pleasure yacht thing. So I guess his was made out of destroyed protocol droids.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. He hates protocol droids so much he wears their pelts.
I hope they built that into the story. That would make a really cool episode.
I agree.
C-3PO would be like, "Hey, baby." Like, yeah, come here.
He's
Tell you
like,
something.
no thanks. Swipe
Wow.
left.
Yeah, so those are all cool. They're coming out next year at some point. So yeah, check those out. Get the General Kenobi. It's really cool. And last up here,
What's this one?
I have Mike's boyfriend.
What the
They are making a action figure of Luke Skywalker from Hot Toys. 1 6-inch scale. You remember on that movie, the Last Jedi? Remember that, Mike?
Even does this.
Yeah, we got
You're such a
announcement
cock tease, man.
of Luke's Force projection image thing in a hot toy.
It's funny because if you don't want to spend a fortune on it, it doesn't exist like Luke didn't in that scene.
I mean, the only reason I bring it up is because that face sculpt is amazing. I mean,
really is.
straight out of the
Face
movie.
sculpts, well,
Yeah.
it's
I love-
that's almost
love
better looking
faces.
than the movie, because in the movie
It is.
they were they're trying to make Mark Hamill look a little bit younger, but like this is actually like what Luke probably would have actually for real looked like years and years before.
And like
Does-
how he was mentioning, he has the brushing motion
Oh,
where he brushes
God.
the dust, dirt off his.
Yep.
Oh.
off
well,
his
also
boat.
for some reason in this picture, holding his lightsaber at the samurai ready.
That's pretty cool, dude. I'd pose
Does
him
he
with the
come
samurai
with
ready.
a glass or canister of some kind to fill with green milk?
Yeah,
Can I reach right through him?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's invisible. It's like a hologram. Pretty cool.
It's an actual hologram.
If you take him
Yeah.
out of the box and drag him through the dirt, he doesn't leave any footprints.
No, he doesn't. No.
There's just one set of footprints.
You can make him and Leia kiss.
Oh, he's got little dice in his.
Yeah,
he's got little hologram dice.
Little,
Yeah,
little
he
fake dice,
does.
little teasy spirit dice.
Yep,
Just,
he
I
sure
wonder if
does.
they disappear.
They
Hey,
probably do.
Han wanted you to have these.
They're really small, so chances are they will disappear because you'll lose them. But yeah, so this figure's pretty cool. It's only $52.88 from Hot Toys.
A month.
That's pretty
Or-
cheap.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the wrong one.
Got me again.
Oh, gotcha. No, it's really $235.
Ouch.
Hot Toys, baby.
They call them hot
Yeah.
toys because the most
they're
convenient
hot.
way to get them is to steal them.
Yeah, that's
Just
true.
saying.
It's a nice looking toy. It's too
Yep.
bad this
Oh yeah,
is a
man.
hologram.
Those things don't go on clearance that much. Either.
No, they do not. Is that the toy report?
That's it. That's all I got,
Sweet
guys.
justice, you guys.
What?
Hey, you guys.
What?
The next episode is episode 200.
Shut your mouth.
I want to tell you, listeners, we have a couple special things planned. So you're going to want to come back for episode 200 next time around. Or maybe not. It could get pretty debaucherous. I'm just saying. Episode 200 is going to be pretty wild. But in the meantime, won't you please run out to iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you find the podcast, give us a nice little review so we can reach more listeners. It really, really, really does affect our ability to expand the audience and find more people like you and grow the community online. By the way, you'll find that community on Twitter, that horrible thing we were talking about earlier, at FlyCasual1138.
Don't do it.
Hey, if downloading podcasts and stuff like that ain't your bag, you can go to the YouTubes at www.youtube. That's YOU tube.
How you spell that? T-O.
Dot, which is a period.
TOOB. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You forgot the HTTP.
YouTube.
:////
Wait, no. /
/ 8765.
Right, 309. So YouTube, just search for Fly Casual Podcast.
Unless you're Russian,
if you're Russian,
stay off our channel, Russian.
Yeah, bitches.
Well, subscribe and then leave and don't come back.
Unless you're a cool Russian. Like,
so yes, you can listen to the listen
like
to the whole
Pat-
Unless you're
podcast.
hot Russian.
if you're Pavel
Hello.
Bure, you can listen to the show.
You can
Make a
But
bot
only
that
if you're
listens
Pavel
to it
Bure.
all the time, so it ups our.
You can listen to us and watch Mike probably furiously move the mouse cursor around in
Yeah,
ways that will just drive you insane.
Hey, someday we'll put our actual visages on there.
Don't threaten
Nope.
them. Don't you
No,
threaten
we
those
want
listeners.
We want people to subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. We're not,
All right, just scroll.
Hey,
down.
what's our subscribing number now?
Subscribing number is let's
has it gone up one in 2 weeks?
See,
No, I think it's the same as 2 weeks ago.
no, it isn't.
What was the
It's-
last one?
It's like 49. I think.
That's one more than the
Hey!
Oh.
Oh, wait, no, Howie was 49.
Oh.
So anyhow, that's a thing you can do. Mike, stop. That's a thing you can do. See, sometimes you just cut to the chase like that, guys. You gotta keep. That's how you wrangle. You wrangle. You just go, hey, stop right now. And is there some other crap they're supposed to do? Twitter, YouTube.
They're supposed to give us a good review.
You
Right,
can
that's the first
actually.
thing I said.
You can actually go to Facebook now and watch the episodes as well.
Oh no!
And you can watch
I
us
have
live.
family there.
You can watch us live on Periscope or Twitter.
Is do people? I feel
People don't say Periscope anymore.
Yeah.
That's my problem. My fault.
Okay.
It is my problem.
Okay.
I only say it because Howie says it.
Every time someone refers to Periscope, I go Howie, it's just Howie's not even there.
It's my problem.
You know, I was watching down Periscope, and I just kept cursing at Howie the whole movie.
People were looking at you like, what?
Yeah. So in the meantime, we're gonna wrap this one up. Okay, episode 200's got to happen real soon.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Corey. Over there is Garrick.
3 more years. 3 more years.
3
3 more years.
6 seasons and a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over there's Mike.
See you later.
Over there's Howie.
Reverse jelly.
Over there.
Oh, you can't do that.
no.
Now we have to start over. All right.
Take backsies.
Let's get ready to
Oh,
rip.
here we go.
I thought we were done with this one.
Now we're going to go from 199 down to 0.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Why did you invoke the curse that reduces us to nothing?
So close. I was one day from retirement.
Over there's Petrie.
Hey, bye.
Yeah, over there's Josh.
Hello, world.
No.
Goodbye,
You
world.
said
Goodbye.
we were
gotta do
doing
this right.
No, you said we were doing the opposite.
No.
I, I stand with Howie. Howie, you're part of this.
Love me, Howie. Jelly. I guess jelly. Jelly?
Jelly.
Jelly. All right. Jelly.
All right. We canceled each other out. We're good.
I hope Helen Keller's going to be on the next episode.
No.
No.
Shut your mouth.